Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. And now, let's join ace broadcaster MAMODE AKUGHA as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, MAMODE AKUGHA. The people of Delta State say Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori is and remains their choice as governor of the oil-rich state, noting that the successes recorded since he assumed office in May 29, 2023 are nothing short of impressive. They say the governor's red dedication to continuity in project completion from the immediate past administration in the state and the initiation of new legacy projects within the last few months demonstrates his resolve to outperform previous governments in the state.
It is a known fact that in just about 7 months in office as the executive governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori has had an indelible mark in every corner and sector of the state, leading to a rapid infrastructure renewal. Some Deltans who spoke to Inside the Niger Delta extolled the governor for the unprecedented award of the construction of 3 flyover bridges and road expansion project around the Warri axis of the state to Julius Berger Nigerian PLC.
This project is a giant one for the first time for many years that we're getting this, and this will bring a big development to Warri and environ.
While some communities across the oil-rich state as well as critical sectors of government have been calling for urgent attentions for years without any success, the story is different today, as these concerns have been attended to by the incumbent administration.
A Warri boy has been born into the government house for the first time in the history of creation of Delta State. So what we are seeing today is the celebration of project from Sheriff Oborevwori.
Before now, it has been very bad. Let's be sincere to ourselves. The majority of the projects we have in this community are all been community development, self-help.
Deltans also held that the governor's commitment to completing all projects inherited from previous administration, such as the network of roads in Ogunu community in Warri South local government area of the state, among several others, is a demonstration of his resolve to outperform his predecessors.
In our system, where if one government goes, another one comes, we abandon projects. That's why we have a lot of abandoned projects all over the state. But this is a governor that has come to say every project must be completed. And we are very grateful to him that he's completing this project.
Student leaders in the state have also acknowledged the contributions of the administration to the development of the young population through its investment in education and youth development programs, which include the 25% reduction in acceptance fee paid by students in all state-owned universities.
It is also an initiative which the governor has created to make them see the need to be educated, to make them know that he as a governor is interested in in their growth and development. Because for a nation to grow, there is a need for we to have graduates in the state which will drive development and bring more understanding and creativity within the state.
Delta is a major oil producing state in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria that, just as any other, has had its fair share of underdevelopment issues, with successive governments doing little in salvaging the struggles of the masses. However, the Oborevwori-led administration in just a few months has demonstrated its will to turn a new leaf from the ugly trend and give the state and its inhabitants a new lease of life.
May God bless Sheriff for us, in Jesus' name.
Governor, thank you very much. God bless you.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Some residents of Warri South local government area of Delta State have hailed the chairman and chief executive officer of A&E Group, Chief Ayiri Emami, for siting its petroleum products filling station in their community. The residents, who believe that the development will boost economic activities as well as provide job opportunities in the area, gave the commendation last week during the commissioning of the facility located beside Warri Main Garage in Warri South local government area of the state.
We are praying for more projects like this in our community, in our kingdom.
After the crisis, the Warri we used to know that is full of investment and the rest of it has been somehow, but as we speak today, with such edifice, I think life is coming back to Warri.
A&E Petrol Station is an offshoot of the A&E Group with investments in oil and gas, construction haulage, entertainment and the hospitality industry. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of A&E Group, Chief Ayiri Emami, is a businessman who has been deliberate in establishing his businesses in Warri Delta State, where he comes from.
As a proper Warri boy, I must, whatever I think I can do in Lagos, I can do in Abuja. I should be able to do it in my town. When I was to build the tank farm, people were saying, why don't you go and invest it in Lagos? Not that I can't do it in Lagos, but if I do it in Lagos, I'll be creating more job opportunity in Lagos. But I did it here. I was able to engage my people.
During the commissioning, Senator Adams Oshomole called on all prominent and young Nigerians to emulate the thoughtfulness of Ayiri.
Chief has shown by his example that it's not about somebody coming to pity you and help you out. It's about you fighting your way through all the difficulties, turning obstacles to opportunities.
Warri Delta State is a rapidly growing urban area, and owing to investments like this, the state will continue to open up for more businesses to thrive.
The governor in this magnitude, with his policy or the more agenda, these are the agenda for prosperity. This will create opportunity for more debtors to be engaged in terms of employment.
After the commissioning ceremony, Senator Oshomole formally opened up sales at this station.
Inside the Niger Delta. Ezekiel Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Ezekiel Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
Travelers by boat and dwellers of riverine communities in River State are calling for a well-organized river transportation system to guarantee their safety and curb reoccurring boat mishaps. This call follows a recent boat mishap which claimed 11 lives out of the 21 passengers on board a local boat en route to Bonny from Andoni local government area of River State after the Yuletide holiday.
Last week was a tragic one for the people of Andoni and Bonny local government areas of River State following a boat mishap that claimed 11 lives, including an infant. Mr. Festus promised the boat owner and 5 members of his family were returning to their base in Bonny after the Christmas holidays and offered to give a free sail to some 15 persons. Sadly, the boat capsized and began sinking just a few distance away from their destination.
Our boat capsized. Yeah, there is no rescue. So about 11 people died. And out of that 11 people, 5 is my son and daughter.
The sad incident had raised concern among travelers by boat who expressed reservations about their safety while plying the sea.
I was a victim. That was last 2 months when our boat capsized. Some of the life vests are not that good.
Can you imagine you bought a boat, then you spent up to 4 hours on top of the sea? Maybe when they bring another boat to rescue you, before you move from this point to another, it will break down.
Following the recent boat mishap, commercial boat operators have come under severe backlash. Hence, Inside the Niger Delta sought to hear the side of the story.
Dirty, sack bag, pure water, waterproof, bottled water. They sink boat, they capsized. No rescue. the thing they full, if na Igbo, you go get sheep. When they filter water, we don't go experience one single dirty.
President, Association of Waterways Ambassadors of Nigeria, Temple Morford, says there is an urgent need to station coast guards who would be readily available and rescue victims in the event of boat mishaps.
Like, there should be what we call coast guides. The duty of the coast guide is to save life. They will be flowing on board the river so that where there is accident, they can be able to arrest the situation.
Water transportation is the only means of conveying people and wares to many riverine communities in the Niger Delta due to the region's terrain. Hence, dwellers of these communities want the government to implement safety regulations at sea routes, just as they do on the land.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The royal family of Arochukwu Kingdom in Abia State, otherwise known as Okenachi Kindred, which has the responsibility of producing monarchs for the kingdom, has put paid to all issues surrounding the selection of the next Ezearo of Arochukwu Kingdom. Members of the royal family who addressed a press conference last week in Arochukwu say 50-year-old Prince Eberechukwu Orji was carefully and properly chosen over his cousin, Prince Godwin Kanu Ide, according to the age-long customs and tradition of the ancient Arochukwu Kingdom. They describe as unheard of in Arochukwu tradition, Godwin Ide's resort to self-help to illegally crown himself, saying the action is not only an illegality but also a nullity, as well as an abomination and act of gangsterism. They further describe Godwin Ide as an impostor and advised the general public and the Abia State government to treat him as such. Prince Godwin Kanu Ide, 57 years old, is a member of the royal family in Arochukwu, Abia State. He is currently resident in Brazil, and his rather scanty CV lists his only work experience as Fix International School Brazil after his graduation from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he graduated in 1992 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Estate Management. He returned home to Nigeria to join the selection race for the next Ezearo of Arochukwu Kingdom, which was thrown open to young men in the family after the older generation stepped aside by formally relinquishing their right to the revered throne. The selection process was through screening, and it was just for two candidates, Prince Godi Ide and Prince Engineer Eberechukwu Orji. Prince Eberechukwu Orji, a leadership expert and chartered engineer with an intimidating CV, holds a first degree in electrical and electronics engineering from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, Imo State, and 3 master's degrees from the University of Benin, Curtin University, Australia, and the Warwick University, United Kingdom. Prince Orji's professional career spans a period of 25 years, during which he worked for Shell Petroleum Development Company SPDC, Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas LNNG, and is currently Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of ND Western Limited, an indigenous player in the oil and gas industry and joint operator of OML 34 in the Western Niger Delta. Chairman, Ezearo Selection Committee, Maze Kanu Evi, says after evaluating both princes, the decision was not a difficult one.
The kingmakers were evaluating their responses and other characteristics that are required for selection. And we asked them, who amongst the two is their preferred candidate? The person will answer with his mouth, selection. The whole 7 selected. My job was to announce the result, and the result was very clear and transparent. 5 against 2. One person must be the Ezearo designate, and that person who had 5, acknowledged 5 from the kingmakers of 7, was selected, and his name is Prince Eberechukwu Kanu Orji.
President General of Okenachi Kindred, Mazi Udo Chijioke, says Prince Orji has also fulfilled the necessary traditional rites and stands today as the Ezearo designate.
Today as I speak, Prince Eberechukwu Orji, in line with the Arochukwu tradition of crowning an Eze,
Having fulfilled being accepted by Ndioke Atoro, presented and accepted at Utugugu with the traditional rites performed, presented to and accepted by Bianco and Amaja, that is, having been accepted by the 3 units of Okenachi kindred, Prince Ebere Chukwuoji immediately stands as Ezaro designate. This is Aro tradition. It was therefore in shock and utter disbelief that Okenachi kindred learned that Prince Godide, who failed at the selection process, ran to Ezibomisi on October 20th for him to put on him what he called Okpu Aronsi and called him Ezaro. This is unheard of in Aro tradition. It is not only an abomination, this is pure gangsterism, a total illegality and a nullity. The Ezaro stool is not for gangsters. Godide is an impostor, since it was not him that the Okenachi kindred selected to be Ezaro.
Following Eze Ibomisi's illegal coronation of Prince Godi Ide, the Abia State government, according to Prince Uzo Nwachukwu, the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, suspended Eze Ibomisi, halted all activities relating to the Ezearo kingship, and refrained anyone from parading themselves as Ezearo pending the conclusion of the state government's panel of inquiry.
Using the law that establishes this place, we asked him to resign. He said he was not going to resign, so I put him on suspension, and he's still on suspension. And another thing that the law says that we would need to do is to set up a board of inquiry, administrative board of inquiry, to look into those issues. That's where we are as we speak. Okay. So he's still on suspension, and then the board of inquiry is sitting, and I've invited him severally, and he has refused to come.
For his part, Eze Ibomisi Kanu Nwa Kanu Okereke, who performed the controversial coronation on Prince Godwin Ide, says the candidate the Okenachi kindred chose, Prince Ebere Chukwuoji, did not qualify as his father is still alive. He described his suspension by the Abia State government as an act of meddlesomeness in an internal community affair.
There's no any community where doing as a government will just come up to stop to suspend the Eze who is doing the crowning. It's this way. We are the government. We tell the government what to do. That's why I go to court.
President General of Okenachi kindred, Mazi Udochi Joke, says Arochukwu has no tradition preventing a son from ascending the Ezaro stool if his father is alive.
The great Aro ancestor Nnachi was alive when his son Oke became Ezaro. Also, it was agreed that Mazi Prince Oji Kanoji, being the eldest and head of the family, had waived his right as Okwarezi, and that confers traditional rights on the beneficiary. It's also important to state that in Igbo culture, when your father raises your hand or speaks into your hand, asks you to go forward, he has given you authority to go forward. It's an accepted norm everywhere.
On New Year's Day, January 1st, Prince Godi Ide sent out a New Year's Day message in his pretended capacity as Ezearo of Arochukwu Kingdom. The state government had clearly had enough of Prince Godi Ide's disregard for constituted authority. On the 5th of January, he was promptly arrested from Arochukwu and detained in Umuahia for 3 days before he was granted bail by a magistrate court. Mazi Jude Nwaokoro is legal counsel to Prince Godi Ide.
He was arraigned on 3-count charge, bordering on false impersonation and false pretenses about his person as Ezaro.
While the Abia State government awaits the panel of inquiry report, Prince Godi Ide is being charged to court for impersonation and actions likely to cause a breach of the peace. Members of the Okenachi royal family, who have now spoken publicly on their choice of Prince Ebere Chukwuoji and other Arochukwu people, are all looking forward to the positive transformation that Prince Oji will bring to Arochukwu Kingdom after his coronation, which they hope will be very soon.
He's quite traveled, experienced, and very versatile. We believe in what he will do.
What they have been doing in this kingdom is not what we want. They sell people's land. They collect money to judge cases the wrong way. The reason being that they're hungry. If you put an Eze there that cannot feed himself, he's likely to take bribe. He's likely to do all kinds of things. So we're saying, let's put somebody who is self-sufficient, somebody who is not looking, who is not hungry, somebody who can fund his own lifestyle. So we've gotten the right person.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Traditional rulers in Rivers State have promised to work with the new management team of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, to ensure that they deliver on their mandates in Rivers State. They made the promise recently during a consultative meeting with the Rivers State representative on the board of the NDDC, Honorable Tony Okocha, and the NDDC Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Alabo Boma Iyaye, at the Rivers State Traditional Rulers Council complex.
As the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, gears up for full-scale action on project execution for the year 2024, the agency had considered it appropriate to consult with stakeholders and seek their inputs as part of the Commission's needs assessment approach. Recently, the Rivers State representative on the board of the NDDC, Honorable Tony Okocha, and the Commission's Executive Director for Finance, Alabo Boma Iyaye, were at the Rivers State Traditional Rulers Council. The aim of the visit was to propose a cordial relationship between the intervention agency and the traditional rulers in order to have a smooth ride in their domains during project executions. Honorable Tony Okocha told the Royal Fathers that the NDDC intends to embark on more human capacity development programs this year and called for their cooperation as they get down to work.
In our bid to go to the fields, to carry out the assignments that we have been given, that if it was necessary or if it was incumbent on me to tell the owners of the land that this is where we want to go and this is what we want to do.
Also at the meeting, the NDDC Executive Director for Finance, Honorable Boma Iyaye, appealed to the traditional rulers to protect government assets in their localities as well as keep an eye on all NDDC projects.
Assist to make sure that this aspect of economic sabotage is reduced to the barest minimum.
For their part, the traditional rulers commended the NDDC for its consultative approach, describing it as a good step towards developing impoverished communities in the Niger Delta.
They've started well. It is going to spur traditional rulers to keep a close eye on whatever project that comes to their place.
We know in the past, NDDC have had so many problems. This time we are praying, no problem that made them horrible will never see the light of day in Jesus' name.
Over 900 abandoned NDDC projects dot communities in Rivers State. Honorable Tony Okocha, however, assured the traditional rulers that the projects would be evaluated and considered for completion, while contractors who were paid but failed to mobilize the site would be brought to book.
Inside the Niger Delta.
And in Benin, the holiday was indeed full of festivities and celebration. As the Christian faithful celebrate Christmas, sons and daughters of the ancient Benin kingdom joined their monarch, Omonoba Nedo Ukuakpolokpolo Oba Ewari II, in celebrating the annual festival of Thanksgiving known as Igwe Festival. The royal festival, dating back to the 14th century, is a moment of appreciation to the Creator for a successful year and prayers for peace and prosperity in the new year, as well as a ceremony where all palace chiefs pay homage to the Oba.
It was a display of the unique cultural heritage of the people of Benin Kingdom in Edo State, as sons and daughters of the land gathered to celebrate one of its signature events, the Igwe Festival. The Igwe Festival is a set of ceremonies, rituals and rites performed in appreciation to the Creator for a successful year as well as peace and prosperity in the kingdom in the new year. The just concluded event coincided with Christmas celebrations, further exciting the sons and daughters of the land.
While we're having the Christians celebration in the afternoons on the same day,
The Benin's are also celebrating the end of a very wonderful year and the beginning of a new one. The excitement is so wonderful and it's lovely.
No, it's not always like that every year. There's always a slight difference depending on the market days.
The Igwe festival, since its inception around the 15th century during the glorious reign of Oba Eware the Great, has been celebrated in December of every year, with a series of traditional activities making the 7-day event. Some of the significant events include the Agwe, a period of fasting when the king and his chiefs go into strict seclusion and are forbidden to see anyone while no burial or mourning is allowed in the kingdom, and the festival of Ewere leaves, a symbol of good luck and joy.
Ewere is a special leaf that brought to the people of Benin in peace, and that name Ewere controls peace, controls safety.
Without being told, it brought a lot of prosperity and successes.
This also represents a rare opportunity for sons and daughters of the land to see their revered ruler, while non-natives are not allowed anywhere close.
To celebrate the MAMODE dance with him, it was wonderful, it was awesome. Look at everybody, lovely face, lovely atmosphere. When a good person leaves, the people rejoice. We are having a very lovely Oba, and he has brought the culture back to the people.
Long may he reign. May God give him long life and prosperity and many more years in this throne. We all enjoy him.
Despite the European conquest of 1897 that reduced the relevance of this festival, it has continued to grow and has become a rallying point for the chiefs and people of the kingdom in solidarity with their ancestors and ruler, as well as creating an avenue to seek peace, unity and prosperity of the kingdom.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, with that report, we draw the curtain on the program. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Till then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screen. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.